Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen. I'm Natan Verhovsky, your host with the most, and we are here in the Frequency of Abundance group. We are here on a successful Saturday. Every day of the week is another talk, from motivational Mondays up to today, successful Saturdays. And so for today's talk, I'm excited, man. Oh my goodness, we're going to do something very cool. This is an interesting chance for you to get familiar with this concept that we're going to talk about. And it's about taking as much time as is needed. Now, a lot of us are going to wonder, why is that even a topic of discussion? Isn't that a given? I'm like, it would be, but we live a fast paced life. And it's not always quick and easy to be able to take the time that you need to really know that you did yourself a service and whatever it is that you were working on a service. And I think that'll be some of what we get into. Now, if you don't know me, I've been an elite energy coach for about 30 years. I've had about 15,000 people go through my hands, starting at Cirque du Soleil, Olympians, national sports teams, wrote a couple best-selling books. And I focused during the pandemic on creating a private, invitation only, not for profit educational community. And we started off as the Essential Academy. And at one point, right around 2024, we rebranded and came into Allura Creative Agency so we could better serve our clients. So we could put on one of a kind events and hunt whales for them, C suite leaders, executives, so that we could take a look at being able to give them paid and free communities to help expand and get their message heard. And coming from that not for profit background, I'm blessed to be able to do it for hundreds of dollars a month, not thousands like any other agency. So that's why we handpick the people we work with. And then we give them a chance to come on, join us in interviews and such like this, create their own groups, and grow. So, and I'm going to put in my contact information in the chat here. Voila. And that way, if you want to get a hold of me, you can. Know that I'm available to help those that are here to help others. I serve those that serve others. Now, to the topic of the day. Taking whatever time is needed. I know it's a Saturday afternoon, but we're going to get deep. This is going to be a profound exploration of patience, intentionality, and honoring your own unique pace in life. So, in the fast-paced world that we're living in right now, there's this immense pressure to just rush through everything. Achievements, healing, decision-making, even rest. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger's famous for, you don't need 8 hours of sleep. Sleep faster. You only need 6. So everything is being emphasized, how taking time, is looked upon almost as a weakness. But I want to explore today how it's not. And it's a profound act of self-care and authenticity. So sometimes, and I'm sure you could go back in your time and find a moment when there was that time that you said, you know what, I don't want to rush into this decision. I'm going to take a little longer. And because you did, you saw something, or something happened, or something changed. And in that, everything gave you a, whew, glad I didn't jump in and do that. So taking as much time as needed could be a cautionary tale in a sense as well. But it's, if anything, giving you more ammunition. And it gives you a bigger springboard to jump when the coast is clear and when it's time to jump. So let's look at the beauty of patience. Let's even Lao Tzu, his quote, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Kind of is, right? Like that expression, everything works out in the end. And if it hasn't worked out yet, well, then guess what? It's not the end. So I want you to reflect on how rushing often leads to mistakes, regrets, burnout. And it's self-serving, but not to you. And that's the problem. That if it was making you better or improving your life or your relationships or your health or your finances, yeah, okay, do it. But it's not. Rushing doesn't. And not taking whatever time is needed is neglecting the best part of what you could do for you. So listening to your inner rhythm, that's a big one. You want to align yourself with your intuition. You know that sometimes you feel that the right time isn't immediately apparent, and you kind of has to grow into that right time. Same for when you're looking at healing. Emotional wounds take time. There's no timeline for grief or personal growth. So letting it take whatever time is necessary is very important. As usual, I have my Greek mountain tea here so that I don't get too parched. So thanks for putting up with me taking a sip once in a while. Let's look at redefining productivity. So if we're going to challenge the social belief that faster is better, and if we could instead look at, well, let's frame slow progress as meaningful progress. It's not just time to stop and smell the flowers along the way that you're going. There's a deeper understanding, and that could lead to a deeper intentionality. And so the why behind the actions is getting very important once again. If you're introducing the idea of active waiting, some people say, I want to think on that, sleep on that. I want to, meditate on that. I want to, okay. These are different ways to say active waiting. You're not just waiting and you're not just sleeping and you're not just passive. The idea of active waiting is being mindful and intentional while things unfold. Can you do that? Can you sit there and be mindful and intentional while you wait for things to unfold? That's a big secret. And I think it can help, like that when they talk about getting comfortable being uncomfortable, because that's the vast majority of life. It's not always happiness, 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 pain free. Sometimes there is a little pain, sometimes there is a little unhappiness, but your ability to be uncomfortable and know that that's going to happen, but being comfortable in that uncomfort and being okay with that. You're sitting in wet pants and underwear, that's uncomfortable. But being comfortable, being uncomfortable, knowing that in 20 minutes you'll be home and there's nothing you can do in the meantime. And get very woo-saw with that. So let's create some space for what matters. If we're looking at some ideas, we want to be cultivating stillness. We want to be cultivating intentionality. So you can journal. It's a wonderful process of feelings without any judgment. It's a good way to go. Meditation, mindful walks, whatever you find might help you recalibrate. And everyone's different in this. If you're taking time to write that book or taking time to finish that giant wall mural painting and stuff, and it's been taking you longer than you think, that's okay. There's stillness, there's intentionality, and it's a chance for you to process your feelings without any judgment. So you need to take whatever time is. And when you do, you can reveal which are these priorities that you have that might be getting buried in the busyness because they're just one of 14 things all, juggling in the air at the same time. If we look at, I guess, some practical applications, we want to think that life isn't always about speed, but about depth. So taking time to savor meals instead of rushing through them, allowing relationships to deepen organically. That takes time. Can't rush that. Giving projects or even creative pursuits the space they need to bloom fully. And so maybe it's a little bit of a bigger project than you realize. And that's okay. Give it its space. Give it that respect. It deserves it. And it can probably give you more than what you originally thought it could. And so you get back more because you gave more. It's a simple seesaw in life I like to look at that goes, if you want more, do more. And you'll be blown away with how it's usually just a little bit more that you do to get a lot more of what you want. It's not a one-to-one. It's a weighted average because you have intentionality. Because when you're pushing a stalled car, it doesn't start the moment you start pushing. But once it gets some momentum, it doesn't stop just because you stop pushing either. So that's what we want to look at. We want to engage with ourselves. So ask yourself, when was the last time you gave yourself permission to slow down? And think about that. What's one area in your life that you could take more time? I remember when I met my beautiful wife of 30 years, and it's a picture of ourselves on our silver anniversary, our 25th, and my daughter above. And when I'd met her in her early 20s, and she was an athlete and extremely skinny and athletic and very highly wound and energetic and strung, worked two jobs, crazy hours, and would eat chocolate bars for energy. And it wasn't one of those, pretty things to look at, because this person would just plow through a chocolate bar. And I'm like, did you even chew it? You take a Mars bar down in like 3 seconds, 4 seconds. I'm like, whoa. It was just this consumption. And so in the early years, I got a box of fancy chocolate. Maybe it was pot of gold, who knows? And really gave the opportunity to enjoy one at a time, savor, let it melt in your mouth, and don't rush. It made a world of difference. And 30 years later, she does that with things. She savors, she takes a bite, she really allows herself to enjoy. So sometimes the littlest things that you do, who knows, back then, the seeds that you planted can have huge repercussions in a good way for you and the people around you that you love and care about. So if you, I guess to recap, we want to remind you of the power of taking the time that you need. That it's necessary to take whatever time is needed for you, for your life, for your projects, for your personal well being, knowing that rushing isn't going to get you there better, faster, knowing that we could do active waiting, knowing that there's ways that you can encourage that and lower any anxious energy that you have that might be looked at as nervousness or anxiety. Convert that over to just being excited. And that's a great, positive, happy emotional state and place to be. So I invite you to think about that when you're looking out and you're looking for, let's say, a mantra. You could say, I am not in a race. My time is mine to honor. Let's try that. I am not in a race. My time is mine to honor. And I think if you focus on that, you might be very, very surprised where you're coming from, what you're looking at, and what comes up. It's going to be something I think that will make some sense. And at the same time, it'll also let you ponder, maybe not for yourself first, maybe it'll be for someone else first, but it'll come back full circle. It'll come back to full bearing for you as well. And I think that'll have a huge effect. So let me remind you, here, I'm going to put this up on ticker tape. Welcome to the Frequency of Abundance group. We're on 7 days a week. Weekends, it's 1 p.m. I let you chill out a bit so it's not too intense. Tomorrow, Sunday, is going to be self-care, reflection, and relaxation. Tune in, bring a friend, come in and watch, comment, like, share, send some love. Let us know that what we're doing means something and matters and has some sort of an impact on you. What a blessing that would be. We would thank you for that. Now, grab a one-on-one time with me if it serves you. Here we go. We've got action items coming up. Ask a question, pop something in the chat, give a thumbs up. And so as we're going off, I'm going to make you see that we get streamed off to the next groups. Oh, and remember, Frequency of Abundance group, the free version is over in LinkedIn. So here is the link for that. And let me put that in the chat as well. There you go. So by all means, reach out, grab us, and that should be able to get you over to the LinkedIn group. From there, we also have a small private paid community. It's very inexpensive. And in there, it's a chance for you to see past interviews, past workshops, past training information, the most incredible talks so that you could binge content and relax and enjoy, but also gives you a chance to interact with others and join our community and reach out and have so much fun and develop and grow. And through that, everyone around you will develop and grow. So I invite you to join us. I invite you to come and say and have a one-on-one with us. And let me see if I can stop that captioning going. Here we go. Ticker, ticker, ticker. Done. Voila. Okay. And we will pause on that as well. No, wrong one. I'm trying, guys. Hold on. It is fun when you're pressing all these buttons. Ta-da. Okay. And I'm putting this in the chat. Done. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So, if we can be of any service, reach out and let us know. And in the meantime, if you'd like to come and get interviewed, I interview Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we might be increasing that in the new year, and give you a chance to get spotlighted and showcased. If you'd like us to put on one-of-a-kind events, leadership roundtables, financial fireside chats, health, wealth, prosperity forums, you name it. If you'd like us to play and help you elevate your game, reach out to me. Grab a one-on-one. Let's chit-chat. Let's have some fun. In the meantime, I'm Natan Rahovsky from the Frequency of Abundance Group, proudly presented by Allura Creative Agency. I'll speak to you soon.